Okay, I am back, and this time the microphone should work. I don't know why. Sometimes it just doesn't. I need to notice this on the OBS screen. Anyway, I was talking about Automat. Let me do this again. So Automat is a game automation utility where you can compose all sorts of gadgets to perform simple actions in the game, but because you can compose them, I said, you can do complex things, like you can capture the screen. Yeah, do this in a loop. Screen capture, proper screen capture now. This is the rhythm of music. Capturing the screen, just capture the screen is pointless. You can recognize text on it. Soon we will add other image processing options here. For the time being though, there is some deficiency in this assembler system. Assembler system can compose machine. It's basically the main way of doing thinking in Automat. If you have some logic you want to implement, you will probably do this using the assembler thingy. It used to look differently, but we changed the shape of registers a little bit. Now when you see a register is this massive flag. It contains bits, and they can be interpreted in different ways. You can interpret them as text, as number, as hexadecimal number, many different ways to look at this. And if I clear this, I can write regular text here. For example, hello. And those, you can see what happens when I type. Whenever I type a character, you immediately see a change in flags. Those are ASCII codes for characters. So this is capital H, L, L, O, and exclamation mark. If I type 3 exclamation marks, you can see this here. That's how ASCII works. You can also look at this hexadecimal number, like that. It has some fun properties. Like, if I delete the first character, it deletes the upper flag. So it behaves in a very fun, regular way. And still go back to text. And now we just have hell. Anyway, assembler needs to be changed. I initially designed it as this kind of box where you see objects flying in, because CPUs can have lots of different knobs. There are so many of them. There are lots of registers within the CPU, lots of flags you can switch, and showing them all at the same time would be totally distracting, because you are not interested in 90% of them. Like, never, ever. So the initial design assumed that we will have this starry background, and whenever you need a register, you will select it from here, you will click show, and the register will fly in. Let's ignore the layout issues. Like, layout issues are separate. But I came up with a different idea, and this different idea involves switch to Automat, increase the font size. The new idea involves this thing. So the new assembler is going to be an obelisk out of stone. This stone obelisk is... I still want to use the Monty Python's kind of motifs throughout the assembler. But yeah, the idea is that it is going to be a stone plate, and out of the stone plate, on this stone plate, you will see different registers, but shown as text areas like that. So you can see them instantly, you can mess with them a little bit. And by grabbing their icons, you will be able to create new instances of them. And yeah, so this is how the new assembler is going to look like, with some registers on top of it, without flags. Flags are going to appear only when you pull out a register. Anyway, yeah, I think flags only when you pull it out. And now I'm wondering. Anyway, so by default, you will not see a lot of the registers. Let's actually go to Automat design. Somewhere here, it's maybe this one. Yeah. So this is roughly how it's going to look. We are not going to show all of those registers, only a few of them. Actually, yeah, this one should be the good one. So within this plate, you will see different extras. Like this is going to be measuring the amount of free stack space. Because, you know, each assembler stores those registers. And it also stores a tiny amount of stack for you, where you can mess with it. Though maybe I will not allocate a custom stack. Maybe I will just let you use your own, like the main stack. That would be fun. That would be riskier and funnier. Yeah. Anyway, we went through some alternative designs. The whole idea is to make it look primitive. Assembler should be simple. Okay. Let me commit the stuff. I was fixing stuff like I promised. I fixed all of the, apparently not all of the issues. I fixed most of the issues off screen. I just need to commit this. So I was working on the memory lifecycle of widgets, something that was, believe it or not, still not addressed till today. Animated deletion. Actually, It's not that it notifies the toy's parent. But this mark dead is pretty much the end of life of a toy. Okay, a parent can also store children to weak pointers. I'm not sure if this is correct. We are doing this mark dead. Yeah, here. Yes, so the parent is not really responsible for this toy store. He moves all of the dead toys by itself. Okay, this checking dead flag is not going to work because it happens later. Okay, this is not the responsibility of it. Okay. New design should be correct. This. What do we have here? I was messing up with a keyboard. We'll submit this separately. Yeah. Okay. So. Then location. Okay, and the next change is this rather large change, which simplifies how okay. And with this out of the way, finally go back to assembler. So it's time to nuke basically the assembler widget. Going to very, very minimal soon. Assembler widget, okay. We have width, height, radius. Very interesting. So I actually have this idea. So we have a system in Automat which allows me to design things directly in Krita and have them exported. I just need to create some masters files. I think I will try to do that. So, close this. It's not really that important. Maybe I will open one of the existing ones. For example, mouse. Okay, so we have 400 ppi. So let's do a new image with 400 ppi and 80 by 80. This will be 8 by 8 centimeters. Or maybe I will make it sure. Yeah, like that. Image sizes now. 8-bit. Yep, everything is correct. I do not need this background, I think. So our export key imported. It's needs to upscale it. Ah, would have thought. image. Okay, I need to fire up stable diffusion. There's a stable diffusion. This is what allows me to use AI from here. Should be able to reconnect. We are. These are our previous attempts, previous streams. We do not want to do this. We want to upscale it now. Okay, let's try. So this is the blurry version. It should get sharper in a second. I don't like the repeating pattern here. Not looking great. Let's try again. I need to do lots of undos now, I think. Oh, or not. Maybe try... Maybe let's not refine it. Maybe we'll just upscale. And that was our quality upscale. I do not like it so much. It feels like it's full of artifacts. Too much contrast. Let's try with this one again, but without flux, messing up the result. It's full of weird dots. So Fluxy is the model which originally generated this image, so and worse. Maybe not. Or maybe it should be messy like that. I do not like that it's divided into 4 quadrants. Another attempt. I will make a couple and pick the one that I like the most. Hey, this one is acceptable. Okay, let's grab this one. There is an colors, color to alpha, black. That's the cast. Okay, maybe I will use this method. Please not select this part. I think I just need to manually clean this up. Select this, and now I should be able to paint on this. Yeah. Also recover some of the stuff that was deleted. Okay, I think it's good enough. There we go. It's gonna go away. And this layer, let's just call it slab. So millimeters. Come on. Okay, and now it's mostly center aligned. Let's save this, save us. Art masters. It's going to be called assembler. Let's create a new shape here. And a vector layer. On this vector layer we are going to have just a simple shape. Going to be our going to be I added this. So I am just selecting the clickable area of the assembler now. Very roughly, I will fix this in a second. There we go. The style of this shape needs to be changed. Let's have no color and outline. Make it red. Have visible. Editing paths in Krita. It's not so nice. Inkscape is doing a much better job at being a vector editor. That's good. Okay, this is our pretty shape. Now, the advantage of doing this all in Krita like that is that when Krita saves this file, assembler kra, it's all. Maybe it is just very large. It should not be that large. Anyway, I want to see. Okay. So when I build Automat right now, go. You can see here that it picked up the new file, exporting assembler kra layers. Warning, layer data not found for slab. What? I need to check this out. So in the build directory should be this generated. Okay. Yeah, everything should just work. There must be something different in the file format, in this file. Let me see. The rules named. Let's do this. Boring, 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 boring. Yeah, this is failing. Oh, actually, when I'm using the variant fast, I do not need to specify anything. That's nice. You can run whatever you want here. The run script is safe. maybe not. Anyway. Yeah, there are no save options here. Okay, so the root directory needs a different name. And I think this will be the only issue it's trying to do now. Image name. Apparently, somewhere within this image, there is a name assembler hard-coded. Yeah, maybe this title, this is probably what's causing the problem. I really don't like that this AI kind of wastes your time with paragraphs of text before telling you, like, single sentence is enough. I'm not sure if B is so wrong. It's like the opinions that Opus has are like total garbage. Like, this approach is guaranteed to work forever, whatever format changes Krita decides to do. Okay, I think the first option is good enough. Who cares? Okay. Got generated assembler HH. So we have a matrix for our slab, which defines its position. Position and scale. The image itself. Nice. And our funny shape. Super nice. I do wonder if Skia probably is making a copy of this for safety. Anyway, our slab is now imported properly. This small fix in quota.py, we can commit this. This is our assembler widget, and this is what needs to be changed. I think we will not have this width height radius error. Yeah, this is going to go away. And the way that everything is going to work here, I need to figure out how to propagate updates from the assembler registers. This propagation could happen in the VM layer or in the widget layer. I think it needs to happen in the VM layer. So this widget does not need to track any registers here. Pretty much. But it's still going to have some children. Let me check this design. Which registers do we want to show by default? I think that the main the 8 main ones, I think. Those? Maybe we should go for those. Will be lots of registers. I think by default we should not be too overwhelming. Yeah, like this many should be enough. And there will probably be, like all of the others, the plan for them is to add those special buttons from which plugs on the sides of this assembler, from which you will be able to kind of pull extra kind of other slabs, and those other slabs will have those extra registers. We'll only do 8. Should be plenty. 8. And actually this RSP is it's going to be a normal register. Anyway. There will be no such thing as on child reparented away. Not anymore. Transform updated. We don't care. This can be initialized lazily in here. Okay, let's fix all of those. And border with... Oh, it's going away. All of this is going away. Oh. Yeah, we don't need to track those registers anymore. Yeah. Create new register widgets. No, we're not doing that. Yes, this funny layout. It was a cool algorithm, but going away. This is the layout code. We do not need to animate continuously anymore. It's going to be made of stone. And we do not need this. So we just do the state refresh. And that's it. And next part, which is changing, is the drawing. Assembler slab. I think this is it. But all of this code, I think we should keep, because it's cool. Lights. I'm going to use this code in a very fun place. Soon. Okay, few children. I left this few children, but we will not do anything here. This we do not need. This we do not need. Only 7 errors. Number of errors is going down fast. Drop location. Yeah, we're not going to react to that anymore. We'll go away. And there is also drop snap, which is also going away. Is the problem here? Snap drop location, we need to remove some parent class. Yep. Okay. So by default, I am embedding stuff that's part of Git. to this result, I will add the assets directory. Oh, okay, let's do it like that. Okay, I think this should work. Okay, status effects not found because, yeah, it's not a file. Check this out. Assembler. It's a new stone object. I see why it's so heavy, because it is kind of heavy. It's a very large thing. I don't like that it's just 8 megabytes. It's not insanely large. Yeah, this is probably the space that we kind of need if we want to squeeze 8 huge text boxes here. This assembler feels nice. Oh. I like that it's stone. It makes it very stable, solid. It's like, it gives me the right vibes that an assembler should give. Lighting direction could be improved. It's very aesthetically pleasing, but the light should come straight from the top. Assembler BG. Yeah, I don't like that. It's so heavy. This assembler BG, oh, it's 60 kilobytes. It's absurd how cheap this is compared to, let's find the other, this one, like 10 times larger. Sorry, no, this is not what I want. I want to add this to git ignore. Actually, we could embed this to be part of the repository. Ah. I need to consult this with the Oracle. Or maybe they would not. No, they would. This is just a second opinion. I think it should be okay. It would reduce the amount of data duplication. So right now I am using consistent resolution across images. So in Krita, when I have this and this, let's scale this % above. Yeah, those sizes are consistent with what we have in Automat. So maybe it needs to be that large. Okay, let's maybe in the meantime start adding the drawing code. register widget. Strongly tied to register. I see, because it's getting it here. Used during tick. Even used during draw. Oh. Will not be the case. And used during visit options. Oh. This is very strange. The value needs to be cached in the widget. Is it not cached? What's I doing?
Red Dragon 3 Thor 23 says,
Hello, Math. Hope you are good. Just thought I'd say hi.
Hey. Yeah, it's going surprisingly well. Like, the stuff that I was going to do for the last 2 weeks, I think I finally am able to get into. Because the amount of bugs that was preventing me from working was insane, but all of them are... Not all of them. Most of them are fixed. It's in a state where it can be... where Automat can be, again, developed, possibly broken. Okay. Please refresh state. Anyway, as you see, I keep getting lost here. Oh, this is forcing state on the level assembler. Okay. This should go here. So I can delete. register many option doing. And show or hide register. We do not need this option. That makes sense. This. Notice the S here is different from. Okay, Visual Studio is going to make me crazy. There is this S here, you know, this extra S. When I highlight this thing, Visual Studio highlights the other identifiers which are different. And this one. What the hell? This IDE is like genuinely sabotaging me. It's a different identifier, right? Right, we need a different menu option here. And how to do this properly? Make object option. This needs to go into a separate. Some refactoring necessary.
I'll be honest, I am not too close to what you were working on. If I had to guess, it looks like C or C. I'm more of a Python, or I've been learning it for years. It's an on and off thing, so I need to relearn syntax again each time. So don't mind me. Just feels like I'm co-working when I join your sessions.
Yeah, sure. Python is like the universal language of programming right now. This is like the English of the programming world. Everything else is very use case specific. Python is kind of for people who just want to get stuff done. Something like this. One more include.
I like to think of it as the Swiss Army knife for programmers. You are right. I partly use Python because of AI-assisted tools. They mostly do the work in Python, but lately been noticing tools like Claude using more JavaScript, so I still need to wrap my mind around that.
It will be interesting. I remember a very long time I used to work on LLMs. Sorry, not LLMs. Regular language models, small ones, like the ones that you can run on your laptop, like 8 or 10 years ago. And there was a very interesting thing about them, about different languages. They performed differently in different languages. In Python, they performed the best. It's like, same problem, you ask them, you make them solve the problem in different languages. In Python, it was like 10 to 20% more efficient than in anything else. It's like, but it's not only about, I guess it tells you something not about the language models, but about the language. Like there is something about Python that makes it, it's just very well designed, the whole language. The syntax is very minimal. It doesn't have stuff to kind of distract you from the core problem. And in what I'm doing right now is it's like making compiler happy. Like the stuff that I'm doing here, it's just in compiler it doesn't happen. In Python. Yeah, I'm just rambling. Don't mind my stuff. Don't feel obligated to respond. This fact not exist.
Thank you for sharing that. I am trying to get into AI governance, so this is useful.
Yeah, when people say they are making a language for LLMs, there was a couple projects like that over the last years. They should really compare against Python, because this is the language that LLMs feel most at home. Oh, delete. Okay, I see. Just need a custom. Or not. Oh, or maybe I just need to do this. Or this. Yeah, that helps. Now I can include my new file. Okay, something weird happened. But it should not work like that. Pum, pum. Or not. We'll do it even differently. It's IDE. Why does it have such a funny name? We'll just call it regs. So every assembler inside is going to store distinct objects for its registers. Yeah. Anyway, short break, and be right back. Okay. I keep breaking things now, but this is going to change in a second. So within each assembler object, this is this big stone slab, I'm going to hold actual tiny register objects inside. And so far this is how it's going to work. I will also have something like this for external registers. And the register. Whenever an assembler updates, it will send a tick to all of the registers. They should use synchronization for this. Oh. I could do this in a very straightforward way, or I could try to reuse the synchronization mechanism. Why this synchronization mechanism seems like a good fit? Because it takes care of the direction of data flow. If there is an update coming from a register, it will wake assembler and then external registers without creating any cycles.
I think programmers that use compilers will be the new gods of the world. When I use AI to develop it, feels like it skips basic standards and good programming practices, etc., and just tries to get the fastest path to the solutions. I need to retrace to look at system prompt, user preferences, and aggressively manage context. I need to get really good at understanding code. I've been meaning to learn and create my own local LLM.
Yeah. Some of the things, they sound kind of like a hyperbole here. This Lots of the world, it's really mostly about having a new tool in your tool belt. I guess every programmer is now going to get more efficient with AI. But I think new programmers which are learning and they are using LLMs a lot, I think it will actually guide new programmers to basically fill the gaps that the tool cannot solve by itself, like architecture. But even this architecture, I think this is just a temporary issue. I think LLMs are going to eventually figure this out. I think they... the one thing that you said that they are trying to solve the problem in the fastest possible way. I think this is a reflection of how they were trained. You know, when they are locked in those tiny reinforcement learning sandboxes where they are given a problem and they can play with it, and when they solve it, they are rewarded by being optimized towards this solution. Like this structure of training where take an AI, you put it in a box, and you tell it to, hey, solve this problem. Of course, it's going to solve the problem in the hackiest possible way, just to pass the test. But if those sandboxes were optimized for long-term, more long-term problem solving, not just, implement this patch. Once you implement it, you're good, you won. I think then LLMs will pick up on what makes software architecture what's important about software architecture, and then I think they would totally fill all the gaps. So it's just their training. Their training is very focused on the short horizon. If this changes, they are also going to handle the long-term planning. We will implement this without any weird abstractions in the most direct possible way. Abstractions will just bite me now. I would spend another month at least creating the right abstraction. And I think I could do this in a week if I get more experience first. So yeah. It's very strange to have a owning pointer past here.
That makes sense. I guess you just reaffirmed my reason for creating my own LLM from scratch, which means delving deeper into Python. Thanks for sharing.
Okay, so for now I will skip another registers. Extract. We are not going to have this extract option here. This whole section is... Oh, this is what was causing... I remember a bug. This loop must have causing it. It's changing indexes of other registers. This is something that LLM wrote, and yeah, it's probably messing a lot. A lot of things. Oh. Yeah. Okay. Widget options gone. Show register option, hide register option. They're going away. Yeah, we'll just have clone. No longer a container. So there's no chance of working. I deleted like a kilometer of code now. Ah. This is a very thing. I've been noticing this problem. I think I need to explore this third option, so I will start another CLOD instance to here I want this.
When I look at programming, I just see a wall of text. I am a visual person. I need to see to conceptualize it. Do you have something like that you use refer to? Not use high level but low level to each object and method and their properties and relationship.
Andre Corella 7, Fort 85 says,
Hi.
Hi. I agree with you 100%. You know, every programmer, if you go to any meetings of programmers, you always have those whiteboards with lots of drawings where, you know, people just try to communicate what they have in their mind.
Red Dragon 3 Thor 23 says,
Just.
Corella 7, 485 says,
I have this code.
Yeah. So on the lowest level, there is the memory layout, and the tool that I think is most nice in visualizing it is actually the C language, not C++. The C. C is way simpler. It's a subset of C++, really. And whenever I want to visualize like what's happening in memory, I just do this. When I do something like this, when I point to the object, if I have this LSP server built in, it tells me, you know, how it's laid out. And then when it tells me that, hey, this object, it occupies 1 byte. It occupies 1 byte, because even though it's empty, the computer still needs to identify it somehow. So it requires a pointer, a unique address in memory. So it's just not storing anything. It's just like 1 useless byte. But I can put some in the value here. And now it tells me, hey, this is 4 bytes. And when I point to this value, it tells me, oh, this value is at offset 0, it's aligned like that, this is the size. And if I do other value, when I point to this, this one is as offset 8 bytes. And this one now has 4-byte padding. So after this value, there is a 4-byte unused space inserted. So this is something that I use to kind of, as I go, to help me think through what's the memory layout of objects. I just use hover feedback for this. Just write a tiny struct, point to it, and it tells me what's kind of there in memory. So this is like one of the things that you do. Using this language server. Language server will tell you what's the memory layout of any object. Like this one, 64 bytes. This dir property, it's 1 byte. Then there are 7 wasted bytes after it. And it's at offset 40 bytes. Super useful to have. Hey, I know there is 7 bytes here.
Camille McAfour 181 says,
Yo, what's going on here?
Hey, we are will this work? Oh, it will. We are making this. This is a game automation app. It's for recording macros. Recording macros and playing them back. So it's like a lot of macro utilities that, typically you get with, if you have a gaming mice or something like that, you might have a utility that does those things. If you have a grindy game, you can create a very simple macro, or even automate it, or see to stop this. Yeah, and you get access to a bunch of nice utilities. So on a high level, this is what we are doing. Now I have a hotkey. I press space, and it moves my mouse. You follow, right? So this is how you can compose those tiny machines together and build bigger programs, essentially. Macros. It's meant for game automation, so it's for macros. It can do other things, like it can do this. I redirect it. It can read my other windows. It's a fun tool.
But it's a game, or you configure automation for outside use case.
Yeah, it's for external games. Like, if you can imagine, for example, Skyrim and the repetitive grind in Skyrim, it's perfect for that. Yeah, it's becoming more smart. We are trying to make it more smart today. Specifically, there is this list of... You can kind of program it to do stuff using those instructions. I'm still working on this, but registers show. For instance, I can write 30 here. And this, yeah, I can do some basic math. Divide by 2. So this is a very low level kind of instruction that will manipulate some number in memory. It's clearly wrong. Oh, because it's dividing the 8-bit register. Yeah, it's dividing only the last 8 bits. Anyway. So this is Automat. We are trying to fix this object here. I do not like it very much. It's going to be way better in the current version of Automat. Didn't I tell it GDB fast? Oh, it finished. Yes. So I'm just asking agent to tell me what are the crashes? What's crashing? So things are crashing. Is that referencing an old proto? Yes, of course it is. I never initialized it. Here. Yeah, now it should maybe not crash. Whoa. Okay. Okay. Something is working here. Okay, okay.
Looks quite useful, but memory management and other stuff is quite out of my scope. Ha ha, I'm a Dan. In me see, guys.
I am so envious, man. I easily the last month I've spent fighting, like coming up with decent memory management strategy, so that when I delete something, so it's still crashing. It's still crashing. Like I was working so much just to make the memory management among all those objects kind of smooth. So there are some things you gain from using C++, but you lose a lot of time. And it's multi-threaded. So like memory management in a single threaded, straightforward application, oh, it's a dream. I wish it was a messy single-threaded app, but it's not. It has multiple threads. It has to use smart pointers and weak pointers so that stuff can be deallocated. Yeah. I do not see a way around this. I think this kind of core probably has to be implemented like that. I think once it's done properly, it's going to run smoothly. Until then, I still need to figure out those crashes. But okay, things have improved a lot. I like this menu, it's so fast to use. Back to default scale. If I want the stack register, I do this. I delete it. So fast. Or RAX. Oh. There was a bug there. Anyway. We should really show those registers here. I'm surprised by the fact that it's not so crashy anymore. And I can have 2 registers. I mean 2 windows which show the same register.
Have you tried a Claude.X for a prototyping or any other cases? Because on long run it still get you more bugs than help.
I am using. I've been using Claude. Maybe I should try OpenAI. I do not like those companies very much. I'm using their products, but I do not like the companies that make them. But yeah, I am using Claude a lot. Like, it is fixing bugs for me. I mean, if you do not try it, if you do not push it to implement new features, if you go very slowly, step by step, it can be managed without breaking your code base. It is possible. It is possible to use them without kind of getting yourself into a swamp. Okay, this was fixed. It fixed another bug. Nicely. Delete this, no problem, but if I have a register, now there is a problem. So here I have a setup where I run Automat. I built Automat in debug mode, and I have this special phrase, and I told Claude that whenever I say this, it should run Automat under GDB. Then I can cause the UI to crash, and it will investigate where the crash is coming from and suggest some solutions. I like it. It's very useful in this regard. Like I constantly get nice reports. Hey, there is some issue here. It could be solved in those 3 different ways. And one of them is usually good enough. Okay, as it's investigating, would we like to show those registers on top of assembler? Register. So each assembler widget needs an array similar to this one. This array I'm wondering whether I should use funny tracked pointer, or maybe just a widget, just register widget. Yeah, I think this should be better. We need to make them unique pointers.
Lankiness says,
What is this circle? Is that eye tracking? Oh?
Yep. My wife used to work on, she used to work on this on university, on eye tracking, yeah. She was actually doing some machine learning based on this. The nice side effect is now that I have an eye tracker and I use it for programming. It's not for me, it's for you. It's like, I actually do not see this circle, only you see it. If I see it, it's too distracting.
Cool stuff.
Yeah, I often kind of shut up when I'm coding, and when I do not speak, I guess it offers you kind of a window into what I'm thinking about. When I first saw this eye tracker, one of my friends was looking at the computer and it was kind of creepy. He was navigating some websites and I could literally see, you know, where he's looking at. It's more creepy when you can see, you know, when people are looking at. I do not see it myself. What I want to say, it's more creepy live, because you kind of have this feeling like you're reading their mind or something like that. And also, the first time I used it myself, it also is very fast also. So, and your eyes, they have this mechanism that when they move, it happens very fast, but for a very brief moment, they switch off. So when you move your eyes, they do not register light. So the effect is that when I look somewhere, I see this circle there. When I look away, and the circle is in a different position, like it was there before I even kind of stopped my eyes. That was another creepy thing about this. It's also very low latency.
Camille Maka for 181 says,
Haha, dopiero sprawdzim. Widom brata sebulaka. Im gonna leave for now. Sub for you, and see you soon.
Thanks. See you around. Something weird happened here. Why did this start out? Is it Claude doing something again? No, it's me. Maybe it's Claude.
Red Dragon 3 Thor 23 says,
What language is Kilmarka speaking? Sounds like Kingon.
He or she found a way to bypass my language filters. I actually have a filter to detect messages in Polish and block them. But I guess if you mix it with English, the filter is getting confused.
Kingon Dardi, Klingon Darti.
So adding some initialization to this assembler widget, I think. Flags. Flag widgets. Reduce the chance of me screwing this up. We should have this field children. Yep. And this should draw a lot of registers on top of the assembler. Yep. Yep. Oh. Even mouse input seems to work. Anyway. Those registers, I need to tweak them a little. First I need to lay them out. Local. I'm going to scale each and every one of them. They are smaller, okay. They do not update properly. Because they are not part of the toy store. It's a problem for another... Okay, it's a problem for this section here. This way it works. The other way not so much. Anyway, I will think of the layout now. So inside this section, I need regions for those 8 registers. I think it would be fun if I put them all in a circle. It will be just 8 registers, right? Yeah, and in the center...
Lankiness says,
What is the main objective of Automat? To be a layer between game and a players with difficulties, or general-purpose automation engine for games? Like, I don't know, for testing purposes?
It's for That's a nice voice, by the way. Which one is that? It's for grindy games, you know, when game developers decide to make the game unnecessarily painful. I mean, you still want to play the game, but it involves some highly repetitive action that better avoided. For those. Okay. Delete this. Okay, looks good. Maybe reg 1.
The voice is trained Empire one. I like TTL comment reading and voice tweaking. It's first time I see that stuff.
Thanks. It was a lot of work to make this work. Wake up. No. Okay, spacing is not perfect. Why is it offset? What? Take 0. Take 1. Take 2.
Dragon 3423 says,
Better to get them set in a tool like PowerPoint or Canvas and bring them over?
This is actually why I'm using Krita. Krita already has some decent... I mean, my favorite tool for vector art is Inkscape. It's by far the most capable. This one should be 4.
Ah, I didn't hear of Krita before.
Yeah, I I've actually configured this so that when I save this Krita file, the build system is actually going to import the shapes, the paths, into Automat as distinct, basically shapes, vector shapes that I can use. So the workflow of going from the design to code is like, I've almost perfected this at this point. This is Reg 7. And the one in the center. Reg 8. I know it's very weird direction, but it should be weird. That's the point. Okay, I've drawn those rectangles because I will force each of the registers to sit in them. So I can do this. This gives me the shape of the first register. The box that I will get is actually need to rebuild Automat to get this. No path element found in SVG nodes.
Lankiness says,
Krita is my fave option for digital painting. For vector, I used to use Inkscape, but switched to the Affinity suite. They recently released free version, and it is pretty decent tool.
Check this. Looks well designed. I mean, there is a company behind it, so yes, of course it is. I could probably use either of them. Oh, well, it's multiplayer. Like, why do people keep pushing this? Who had these graphics in a multiplayer fashion? Yeah, I will check this out. I need to convert this into a path, because it's a rectangle apparently. No. Those are raster filters.
This Affinity has very Photoshop-like UX. It was bought by Canva not that long time ago. Well, they provided some subscription part of the service, but paid stuff is mostly for AI-based features.
So weird to me, because those AI features, like, you use them so much, and they're often used in a like professional context where you do not want to share your essentially company internal stuff, like work with some external companies. This part is kind of weird to me that there are companies who go for it. Maybe this. Convert to path. Yes. Maybe not. Maybe this is not how I should do it. Maybe I could retain this path as a rectangle. Yes, it's a great idea. Time to put Claude to work.
The most evil part was when Photoshop, the main tool of many artists, provided AI features based on their work. I mentioned Affinity cause it has great tool to place many items in the grid as on your art.
Yeah. Graphics, graphics generation, unlike LLMs, it's actually decent, like the local versions. There are so many of them, they are very competitive with the commercial ones. I have no idea how Photoshop is doing. Honestly, haven't seen Photoshop. Photoshop AI art a lot. Maybe it's decent now, who knows? Yeah, so stable diffusion, flags, and there are a couple others. I haven't been in the field for the past 2 months, so it has advanced a lot again. It's just scanning a zip. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, use AI a lot. I don't know why it's not showing me my... Okay, here I had my previous AI generations. Yeah, so when I was working on this assembler, for instance, this is what I went through. Those are some intermediate designs. They look very nice. It's very hard to create something with this level of detail and consistency procedurally. I will try though. I think this is the one I went with. Yeah, I'll see how it goes. Actually, going back to this, I think my 8 registers, I think they would be better if I had 2 columns or...
Cool results. How much RAM do you need for those tools? What model is it? I've seen that Krita can have this integrated, but never really tried.
Yeah. About 12 gigabytes, I think. But the more you have, the better it is. And if you have more VRAM, you can do this cool thing where you generate multiple. For a single prompt, you generate like 4 images at once, and they are each different, so you can pick different variants. And by picking some ancient models, like this one, this is Dream Shaper, it's a very old one, it's like 3 or 4 years old, or more by now. It's one of my favorite ones, because it has very low capabilities, but it's very good when it comes to composition. Like the composition that it creates is always... It always looks nice. I just asked it to create smooth, featureless stone surface. It's unable to do this because it's not visually... It wasn't trained to generate textures. But you can confuse it by saying something. Something like victory of light upon the darkness, and then melancholic vibes, and generate this. It works very well with, vibe prompts. Complete nonsensical prompt, but it's generating some decent art, I would say. Extremely artsy. And it's also trained on people, so yeah, it really likes to generate people. Anyway, who is our AI doing? It's actually decent. I like that this is the trickiest part of this whole export, making sure that the coordinates are correct, because SVG is full of matrix transforms. find object is causing the problem. And apparently that fixed the crash. Ah. Nice, nice. I didn't expect that this code path will be triggered, but yes, there is a code path in Automat that allows objects to burn. It should go away now. This something size equals something. Nice. Okay, this one we can stop. Okay, here Claude is working on rectangle export. I dislike the writing style of Claude, but otherwise it's, especially the new one, the 4.8, it's decent. This, especially this rhetorical structure, something doesn't merely omit art, breaks on a clean checkout. This is very AI-ish. Maybe they could even be context. Who knows?
Yeah. Good to have some fine-tuning for AI models to keep answers less poetic. In the bottom left corner, you shows what music plays. Should we hear that, or it is just info to get a vibe?
Oh, it's... I cannot play it on YouTube. I have a registered internet radio, so I can play normal copyrighted music, except on YouTube. YouTube has its own of rules. You can listen to it on Twitch or theoretically on liveautomat.org. Let me check this. Does this work? Yeah. Should work. Or Twitch. Like, Twitch is probably more friendly towards my bandwidth because it's kind of streaming from my PC, and I guess Twitch is actually helping by Twitch has more bandwidth than my internet provider. Yeah, I keep fiddling with music. I will probably switch to more game music eventually, because game music can be played in background on streams. A very strange thing. Creative Commons music, even when it's free, unfortunately it cannot be played on YouTube because of copyright trolls. This is sad, but yeah. Wants to create this generated assets dictionary. I'm not super happy with this proposal. We'll have to chat with AI about this, but this solution is not... There's some subtle issues with this. I do not want to parse every Krita file on every build. This is just crazy. Just checking the timestamp should be enough. I think I will need like a dedicated coding session to fix this issue. It's a big issue because fresh checkouts have compilation problems. You have to compile them twice to work.
Maybe it could just parse the file to some cheap to read middleware format with all the metadata needed and rebuild it only if meaty 5 changes.
Yeah. I think something like this is already present, but there are some cyclic dependencies because I have those Krita files that describe, for example, mouse. So the mouse object from Automat, it has many layers, and each of them is exported as a C++ file and as a bitmap. And there is a dependency between them, so the C++ file which is exported, it cannot be compiled for bitmap is embedded, so there is also embedding step which kind of needs to be inserted in between them. It's tricky, but it's doable. I just need to tell the AI how it needs to work. And I execute this script all the time when I'm developing. It needs to be very fast. It cannot scan, it cannot unpack Krita file because each Krita file is a zip file. I do not want to read compressed files. Okay, this is looking good. I'm just surprised there is escape path here. Oh, I see. Oh. It's trying to be very clever. That's okay. It's a build. Time dependency.
Damn. So you need kind of dependency tree for Krita files.
Yeah. All of this is eventually embedded into Automat. Yeah, pretty much. And I'm glad Krita is open source and I can analyze its internal data format wherever I want. And there is a reference implementation, Krita itself. I hope it's not going to break the SVG transforms.
Well, you are doing macro automation project. What problem is really solved by Krita files integration? Is that matter of making it easy extendable?
It's for me. When I work on stuff like this, for instance, I have those rectangles. I could compute them procedurally from code, but it's much easier for me to just move them around here, click save, and then on the next rerun, stuff in Automat is moved around. It's this speed, where I can paint something here. I can paint a smiley face on this mouse base, save, paint a smiley face. This is a smiley face, nice. And now save mouse, run it. And look at that, the mouse is smiling. I can go back to Krita, hit Ctrl Z, save, rerun. The mouse doesn't have a smiley face anymore. The edit cycle is just insanely fast thanks to this. And it also affects, layer positions, shapes, everything. And I think I had this live mode, so theoretically, I could drop a mouse here. Now I should be able to drive. Call a smiley face, save. It didn't work. Live mode is broken. What should happen right now is the build system should rebuild Automat because it noticed that the Krita files have changed. That didn't work, unfortunately. I need to fix it. It's very cool. It's very cool, this live rebuilding. It's almost like editing in JavaScript. Maybe even better because it also follows the updates to graphic assets. Of live reloading, it used to work, I just broke it. I don't remember when. Check this. Similar. Scale correct? Okay. This is const exp. It should be const exp. Why is it function here? Ah.
Okay, got it. Makes sense. Probably it is not last time you'll be doing UI. It made working with Godot Game Engine much easier when they started to support 3D models exported right from the Blender.
Yeah, yeah. And the perfect flow when doing this kind of development is to have game window open, Blender open like on another screen, and when you hit Ctrl S, you can see the result in the game reloaded live. It's like the optimal way to work. Okay. I am going to keep complaining to AI about data type. I do not like this being a function. It should be an extern data struct, really. Actually, I think I will convert one of those into a regular rectangle. Yeah, I just one context in this whole file. I'm reading the explanation from AI, and the worst part is that it's kilometers of text, and early on there is a mistake. There's a mistake here. And everything after that is based on this bad kind of assumption. What are we doing here? Two clouds are working for us right now. They are not super fast, I have to say. Okay, to draw the registers, you need their positions, because for layout is going to be necessary. Yeah. This is think about okay. I actually see that the plan that it's proposing is actually good now, but it will likely break something. So I want this cloth to finish first. Nice. Just can't wait to see the new variables generated. There we go. Everything is context. Okay, that should work. Optional. Oh, come on. Yeah, there we go. It got slightly squeezed, but it's fitting. It's in the right place. Oh yeah. Make them sharp. Nice. There we go. All the registers are in their rightful places now. A, B, C, D, E, or E. Oh, this is base index and stack index. This is source and destination. Or not so nice, because those registers here, I don't want them to have flags. They look kind of strange. But it's getting late, and this is something we can fix next time. And I will probably reposition those registers a little bit. Change their shape and everything. Okay, in terms of the amount of space that is necessary to represent a register, seems like it's actually this long. We need a lot of space for it. If this is how much space do we need, then I think the optimal layout would actually be 8 registers in one big stack, essentially. Yeah, it will come next stream. So, this is it for today. I hope you have a nice weekend, and see you on Monday? Will I be here on Monday? I think I will. No, I won't. I'm taking a break, another vacation. I will probably still work on Automat, but at some reduced capacity. Maybe I will fix this build issue that we had. Anyway, see you eventually. Bye bye.